Hello, and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, where today we are at the Inverclyde? No. The Irvine garage. That took me a long time to remember. In Irvine with the Ayrshire operation, where we have VW 680, better known to the DVLA as SR04 PRS, which is going out this afternoon on 460s between Irvine Hospital and Dreghorn. Which, let's have a look at the 460, because, well, the 460 is actually a mainline service. I just realised that now. Yes, the 460 is a mainline service. From Irvine Hospital, through the town centre, past the railway station and into Dreghorn. But today we've got two new services on the books. The first is going to be the 289 from Irvine to Stewarton, and the second is going to be the what was this one going to be? The 227? Or the 272? I like 272 actually. Okay, so never mind, we're going to have three new services. We're going to have the 289 to Stewarton from Irvine, the 288 to Stewarton from Kilmarnock, and the 272 to Ardrossan via Kilwinning. So I'm just going to have a look. So this is the 88. This is why 288 is important. No, it's not. Yeah, that is the 88. So I don't want to go in this way, but I'll see what, like... Oh no, this way is the way that makes the most sense, actually. So yeah, we will come into Stewarton this way, then we're going to go around this estate on the northern side. The 289 is going to follow the 287 up to Cunningham Head, and then keep going straight. It's then going to pop into Stewarton Station, there's a little turning area there, and then it's going to come down and turn back at this turning circle to get some local connectivity in Stewarton. Then of course the 272 is going to follow the 771 from Irvine Town Centre across to Ardrossan. Maybe? I wanted to serve somewhere on this end. So either it will go across this way, across the top, and then down, so missing out Saltcoats, or it'll come the way the 771 goes, and then turn around in one of these estates up here. That is the question. I'm gonna get OpenStreetMap up off to the side, so that I can make that call. Right, so this estate actually has bus stops along it, and that is the estate's bus terminus. It is called Chapelhill Mount. So we are going to have the 272 come in along the 771 to Ardrossan Town Centre, then follow the route of the 727 up to just slightly before this stop, where it'll pull off and go in to Chapelhill Mount. And that should be one of two bus routes that Chapelhill Mount gets, actually. Because there'll be one to Ardrossan, and then there'll be another either to Saltcoats or Stevenston, perhaps both, which will get service along this road. But anywho, I think that is enough explanation. I'm going to start on the 288. Which means I need to go over to Kilmarnock. And this will obviously be run from the Kilmarnock garage. So, Yes. So we are building it from Kilmarnock. That was a very close automatic colour. Very well done. 288 Kilmarnock to Stewarton. So again, overview, we're coming out of Kilmarnock, we're following the 88 up to Kilmores, then we're going up to Stewarton, making all stops in Stewarton though, where the 88 is a limited stop, and then around this estate, which I will find a name for. But I'll do that in our happy little time lapse. We'll take that out of stand 5, and then we'll go around the bottom, like so. Coming up there, the 88 goes that way, then this way, up this way, that's a side road. Then it stops there. Then I'm going to put a stop here, then there. Yeah, post me if you don't mind. The 288 is now in place between Kilmarnock and Stewarton via Kilmars, which hopefully won't be too cannibalistic when it comes to the 88, but then the 88 does go a lot further. So yes, that is the first of the 3 routes, and the first of 2 to Stewarton. And the timetable for the 288 is now done between Kilmarnock and Stewarton. So, this route, it says it's going to need 3, I think it'll need 2, but because it says it'll need 3, I'm going to give it 4. And I've not done a Sunday timetable, so let's do the Sunday timetable. So Sunday, I want to offset it by half an hour in the morning, I think, and an hour and a half in the evening. So that will be running from 5:58 until 20:58. Let's make that do that, and we'll go Sunday outbound. 5:58 until 20:58. Good. And yeah, it's just going to run every hour, so let's check Sunday. We want departures at 6:30 until 21:30. The game gets laggy when it's auto-saving, but then it picks right up again, most of the time. There we go, 6:30 to 21:30, and... that's outbound square bracket. I want inbound. There we go. Right, that's good. And I'll make sure it's going from the correct garage. 288 Kilmarnock Stewarton. And let's assign that to Kilmarnock. Good. Right, so what I'm going to do with this route is I'm actually going to move the 4 VWs already stationed at Irvine, because these are all going to be part of the same batch of VWs. So when it comes to activating them, I'll move the VWs currently at Irvine over to Kilmarnock. And that should be a good time for everyone involved. But next it is time for the 289, which will run from Irvine Station up to Stewarton. And is there a name for this estate? There should be, because there aren't any bus stops there, but the road, it's a massive long road and it's called Jubilee Drive. So yes, Irvine Station to Stewarton, Jubilee Drive via Cunningham Head. And I set that time lapse up way too early. Ah, well. 289, Stewarton. No. Irvine to Stewarton. There we go. I can type. I can spell. It's all good. Start at Irvine opposite station and we'll head out and around the same way that we send everything. There we go, and we'll head up Bank Street. But rather than go the way the 287 goes, which is up this way, we're going to go this way. Because that's more fun, and it's different, mostly. Purely that it's different. Anyway, post. Here is the 289 between Irvine and Stewarton. It's got a very nice long fast bit. Very nice long fast bit. Unfortunately, that very nice long fast bit and a lot of stuff coming out of Irvine, there's a lot of bus stop on this route. So I'm going to spend some time in the jump cut making there be less bus stop on this route, just that I have a better idea of where stops are, so I can put timing points in reasonable places rather than, say, next to this farm. If the bus is running early past this farm, it's not so much of a big deal, but if the bus is running early through Cunningham Head, I want to make sure that I can stop the bus in Cunningham Head. In fact, these stops already are properly named. But the bigger deal when it comes to stops that aren't named are the ones up along this road where there's substantial housing estates, and therefore people who might miss the bus if it's running early. And of course, coming into Stewarton, I believe there's a few bus stop through Nether Robertland. I found out the name of the estate. Turns out everything here, okay, these two things here are called Nether Robertland. And if I recall, there's something around here. There's a place around here called Robertland. And there's a park here, apparently. Yes. Well, this is Springwell Park, and that's Games Hill. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna de-bus stopify this route, and I will see you when we have a timetable. And the timetable for the bus stop named 289 is now done. So it runs up to every half hour, Monday to Saturday, and And then on Sunday, runs every 45 minutes with a slightly rebalanced timetable to give it more time at Nether Robertland and less time at Irvine for a turnback. And it's quite generously timed, actually. It's got in Stewarton, it has timing points at the cross, and then it has some rest at Stewarton station as well. And that applies during the week as well. So it's 4 minutes outbound, and how long is it inbound? How long does it have? 4 minutes the other way as well. So it's quite generous. And like everything else, this is going to run with the VW type. So I'll confirm that later. Next, it is time for the 272 from Irvine Station, going around the bottom, then up the top through Kilwinning and to, what was it called? Hold on, it's an estate in Ardrossan. I just spent ages looking for it earlier. Chapelhill Mount, that's it. So yes, own bus route. And wait for it to load. There's a place called Moscow. Woo, it's probably Moscow, given that this is Scotland. Unless it is Moscow, given that this is Scotland. 272 Irvine to Ardrossan. There we go. So we'll be starting from the station. And then we'll actually be going this way. Out along the bottom and going through all of Irvine town centre. So, post me if you don't mind. And the 272 is now in place between Irvine and Ardrossan via Kilwinning, Stevenston and Saltcoats. So yeah, this is our first non-QuickSilver service to Stevenston, Saltcoats and Ardrossan. The start of what looks like it's going to end up being a decent little collection of routes down here, because we have stuff here, we have stuff here, we have stuff up here, we have this place which I knew I was going to have to serve, we have this one, and then of course there's all sorts of nonsense in Kilwinning. It's all really good, it's all looking good. The coast is going to be jumping by the time I'm done, but in the meantime I have to focus my attention back onto the 272 and get its timetable made. And the timetable is now in place for the 272 from Irvine to Ardrossan. So, yes, it'll run up to every 15 minutes during the week, with Sunday service provided up to every half hour. I'm just going to make sure that all of my destinations are properly ticked. Good. And then the inbounds are good, 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 and good. Very nice. And this is going to prefer the VW type. And I'll get that confirmed to run out of Irvine later. So, just a quick recap. Our 3 new routes of this episode are not the 271, which I've just clicked by accident. The 272, which we've just done, from Irvine Station through Irvine Town Centre, Kilwinning, Stevenston, Saltcoats, Ardrossan Town Centre, to Ardrossan at Chapelhill Mount. The 288, from Kilmarnock to Stewarton Eglinton Road, via Kilmars and Stewarton Town Centre. And the 289, from Irvine Station to Stewarton Nether Robertland, via Irvine Town Centre, Cunningham Head, and Stewarton Station. So the 289 and 272 and 289 are going to be run out of the Irvine garage, while the 288 is going to be run out of Kilmarnock. In order to make them work, the final situation with the fleet will be the 4 VWs that currently do the 460 will be transferred to Kilmarnock to be with the rest of the early part of the SR04 batch, while the remainder of the SR04 batch will enter service at Irvine to go on the 272, 289 and of course the 460. So the 460 needs 4, the 288 and 289 I think both need 4, although I'll check. There, 636. Oh no, wait, that's before it goes high frequency. 711, 755, 836, so that should do the 841. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I will need 4 for the 460, 4 for the 289, and how many buses do I need on this route? Let's have a look, shall we? That's not the right one, it's this one. This is the crazy one. Crazy? I was crazy once. No, I'm not going to start that. If you know how the rest of that goes, kudos. Let's take the Z07 from Irvine. We get to Adrossan where we have 1 minute and we're straight back. And we get to Irvine at 10:14 where we're going to take out the 10... Which one is that going to be? The 1022. So that is a vehicle requirement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want 12 buses for this route. So that means we need 20 new buses. So if you don't mind, I'm going to... Actually, I don't have to get anything ready. All I need to do is hit back to the point that I'm in a bus garage, hope that it's Irvine, and then launch. It is Irvine, very nice. So yes, these ones, which actually aren't doing anything now, apparently. Yeah, those which aren't doing anything, supposedly, are... Oh, that's weird. Why does everything come unassigned? It's all the locals. Huh. Well, anywho, I guess seeing as they're not doing anything, I will get them moved over straight away. The 2 that are in right now. There you go. They can go bye-bye. When this one comes back, it can go to Kilmarnock. And when 679 comes back, it can go to Kilmarnock. Good. So, now that they're on their way to Kilmarnock, or are going to be, I'm going to buy a bus. Wow, imagine buying a bus on the Cam J Kermit channel. It would have been so nice to use those Plaxton Prestiges. They look really, really nice. But unfortunately, we had our little spat with DAF, and now we don't buy DAF buses. And the Prestige, I believe, was already out of production by this point anyway. So if we were to get DAFs at this point, they'd be Wright Commanders. Big DAFs anyway. Big DAFs would be Wright Commanders, little DAFs would be Wright Cadets. Where am I looking? I'm looking at the VW type. So yes, we want 20. And no PIS. This is still 2004. PIS is a very rare. I believe they might have existed in some places, but not on the majority of the National Busways network. They are a thing on QuickSilver and on the Orange Arrows in Glasgow. But yeah, not here. IV, select. It's a very nice livery. It's one we've seen before, but the red is just gorgeous. And of course, it's the new image scheme, which itself is gorgeous. Taking plenty of screenshots and buying 10 so that I can then buy another 10 more. Into the paint shop, B7 IV, very nice. Here they are. Look at all of these lovely buses. Oh, they're so pretty. There's so many of them and they're all gorgeous. So anyway, I'm going to go to Kilmarnock. 680 is the highest one. Just flip those around. So it's going to be SR04 PRT for VW681. So, first of all, I'm going to make sure that's all correct. VW681 and the fleet license is going to be SR04PRT. Good. So yes, I will see you after a happy little jump cut, in which everything will say Ayrshire IV on their blinds, and they will get a fleet number and an appropriate license plate. They'll look like that. And finally, we have SR04 PSN, better known as VW700. There we are, VW700, the 700th Volvo with Wright bodywork in, or single deck Volvo with Wright bodywork in the National Busways fleet. Isn't this lovely? The Ayrshire garage is growing very, very nicely. Or the Ayrshire fleet even is growing very, very nicely, as is the Inverclyde garage. There we go. No, that was wrong as well. The Irvine garage. This is going to be a recurring error, isn't it? This absolutely is. Right. I'm going to activate these routes one by one. And now it's about time to join our first run on the 272 from Ardrossan through to Irvine. And when am I ever going to have that correctly set up so that the bus doesn't just drive away from me? Anywho, why is the game lagging? Why is the game having a moment? It seems fine. But anywho, yes, the 272, Irvine to Adrossan, runs from up here, which is an estate in the northern side of town, which I would show you if it wasn't lagging horrifically, but I'm going to bring it up off camera so that I can at least, you know, verbally describe it with a level of accuracy. Yes, on the northwestern side of town, just off of Dalry Road, which is this main road that runs up the middle of the screen here that we are about to turn onto, provided the game doesn't die. We then go through Ardrossan town centre, along the beach, through to Saltcoats, then up to Stevenston and Kilwinning before heading back down into Irvine, making a brief pit stop at the hospital, then running through the town centre and into the railway station via the back way. There we go, and now we are experiencing seconds per frame, but we are on our way to Irvine now. There is a 727 on its way up to Glasgow Airport. It's an absolutely marathon run to Glasgow Airport from Kilwinning via Ardrossan and Largs. Meanwhile, we are heading up to Irvine eventually. We will get there, but we're just coming along the beach and in towards Stevenston, Saltcoats. Yes, Saltcoats, then Stevenston. I will get this eventually. Like, I remember when I put the 771 in. Well, I don't, that's the problem, it was so long ago that I don't remember putting it in, yet I just can't even remember which order Saltcoats and Stevenston go in. Ah well. That looked like a 771. The 771s have the old livery on them still, they've still got Landor, whereas the 727s have Morse. And also the 727, yeah, you see the bus right behind us is a 727. So, yeah. And that's in the new image scheme. Whereas the 771s are older, so they are in Landor. But anywho, we're now on the big road heading into Irvine. And yeah, we're doing well. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of mess going on at that interchange, and we are taking every exit. Fun. And then heading down into Ardrossan. There's a 468 heading up to the Castle Park estate, which is being run by one of the OSL types, which are Optare Solo M1020s, the longest variant of the Optare Solo produced, which I call the Optare So Long, because they are so long. And yeah, so our next step is going to be to get the 289 up to Stewarton, and then go down to Kilmarnock on the 288. What was that going that way? That's a 272. That's a 460. Who's here? Nothing. That, however, is a 289. And it's just left. So yes, we are now on the 289, heading up to Stewarton via Irvine Town Centre and Cunningham Head. I had to do a lot of stop renaming for this one, which is why there are now a lot of stops along this route that have good names, like this one, Irvine Bank Street adjacent Woodlands Avenue. And the longest stop name on the map is one of these two. Irvine Manson Road before Staincastle roundabout eastbound. Yikes. But you know, that's sort of what we do when you don't have much in the way of landmarks. Now heading up through Perseton and Perseton Gate. Then Cunningham Head Village. There's a 771. You can tell because it doesn't have the thingy. It doesn't have the new livery. Then Ramsdane Farm. A farm I can't find the name of. Another farm I can't find the name of. Another farm I can't find the name of. Leigh Castleton Farm. Something like that. Then Castleton Farm. And into Stewarton, where we go first up to the station, very closely following an 88, but we go into the station and we wait for a few minutes, and while I'm waiting, I'm just going to make sure that there isn't a 288 coming in. When is the next 288? You are going into Kilmarnock. Great. Yeah, can I get something between those two? Fine. So yes, the 289, after it goes to the station, then it goes down to this estate over here, which is Nether Robert Land. Okay, what are you? A 288. Being done by a Renown. Okay. Oh yes, because I have a different vehicle group for the B7s at Kilmarnock. Because we have both B7s and B10s. But we're coming through their sort of estate in the sort of top side of Stewarton that I don't really know what to call. And heading back down into Stewarton. Pretty much one-on-one with a 289. Great. We're now heading down through the countryside, slow along the route of the 289. Not 289, along the route of the 88. And yeah, it's all very busy down here. It's all very busy down here. But given that this route uses Renowns when I meant for it to use B7s, should I keep it like that? You know? I think it's nice that we have a little route where we can, you know, get these B7s going a little bit more, stretch their legs somewhat. I mean, buses don't have legs, but you know what I mean. I'm tired. It's 3:30 in the morning. On the day this video is meant to go live, as is a theme with me. But anywho, we're now in Kilmarnock, so I think that is a good place to round things off. I'm going to head back to the Irvine garage, where hopefully we should have a bus or two to look at. And yes, there we are. There they are. There's two. So from VW696 and VW697, I will see you next week from National Busways, West Scotland. Bye bye.